and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted episode 183, coming to you live by the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favourite shows. I am, of course, your host, Bison, and today I am joined by the man coming to us from the void of his own brain, the Joker. Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not bad. And just so everyone knows, Craig's on his way. He'll be joining us any minute. Now, good old British Yorkshire tea. That's what I'm talking about. You can't beat a bit of that. It's a bit of Yorkshire tea.
Can't beat a bit of Yorkshire. There's someone I'm watching on YouTube who's he's a spiffing Brit. He constantly goes on about Yorkshire tea, like a parody thing too. So just hearing that now, it's got me thinking of him. He spends his time taking the piss out of games like Skyrim and Fallout 4, how broken they are, and taking the piss out. Okay. Yeah, so one of his gimmicks is he's like this posh British guy, and he goes around with this big cup of Yorkshire tea.
You can't beat a Peaky Blinder. Look, Peaky Blinders, baby. Look, hang on a minute.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Peaky Blinders, mate. Yeah, that's what you want. And your mug also has to have a chip in it, right? If your mug doesn't have a chip in it, then it's not a proper British tea mug. All right, it's as simple as that.
Or crack. Sammy headbutts it and cracks it.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. I just need to turn my lights on. Poor old Mir needs to see my face. But anyway, enjoy my tea, Mir.
Yeah.
By order, of course. By order of the Peaky motherfucking Blinders. All right? By order of the Peaky Blinders. Right, now, let's get on with this show, shall we? Let's get on with this show.
Yeah, let's eventually get on with it.
I think we got loads to talk about. Well, I think we haven't got masses to talk about, but what we have got to talk about
wonderful
is wonderful, and it's pretty big. It's pretty big. So it's all good. Courtney's with us, which is great to see. Mira's with us. John is with us. John Sado's with us. Melonhead. We haven't seen Melonhead for a few weeks, so it's good to see.
Yes.
Zach Bonifer is with us. Who else have we got? I'm pretty sure I saw Eric. Yeah, Eric's
congratulations to you, Courtney, for winning the 8x10 Dolph Ziggler, or not Dolph, Nick Nemeth thing on Thursday. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, it must be fate. That's all I got to say. It must be fate.
Because I'm sick.
Hang on a minute. We got LimpstarUK. Is he going to join us, or is he's going to be in the chat? What's going on? Is he in the back?
Yeah, I sent him the link. I sent him the links and everything. It should all be in his inbox.
Okay, good. So he's got everything he needs. He's got everything he needs. That's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Now listen, I'm going to mention his name any second, but we have the Joe Hendry food fight featuring friend of TNI, of course, Daniel Spencer. Did you check this one out?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
That was just for Mir, because we know how much he loves it. We know how much he loves it. Did you check this one out, Daniel Spencer on Joe Hendry food fight?
No, I didn't. I've been meaning to, but I'm preoccupied with music mostly, so my attention has been on just getting lost in music and listening to new music.
Really, getting lost in music. Fair dues. Okay, well, anyway, that's who it was featuring. It was featuring the legendary, obviously, in-ring referee, head referee, I believe, or chief ref. Oh, I don't know what they call it. Is it head or chief referee? Daniel Spencer for TNA on food fight. So go and check that out. Daniel's a lovely guy, so it's definitely worth checking that out. Kemper's just joined us. Hi, Kemper.
Hello.
So TNA. I'm down with that.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk some TNA. So News earlier this week with regards to the end of Ultimate Insider on YouTube. Now, I've got this as sort of kind of like an open discussion, really, because I know that everybody's got their thoughts on this. But what I want to do is I just want to say, make it nice and easy for people to understand. As of the 1st of June, there will be no more Ultimate Insider on YouTube. However, there will still be insiders, okay? Which means that if you sign up to the 99 cents or like £1 or whatever it is in the UK a month insiders, you will still get Impact every week as normal on YouTube. That's not going to change. You will still get that, okay? The only difference is because you're not doing the Ultimate Insider, that means that you don't get the specials on there anymore, right? So that's why they're encouraging you to move over to the TNA Plus, because that's what they want. They want everyone on TNA. Makes perfect sense. If you think about it, it costs them more money probably to do an Ultimate Insider, that you have to pay their dues, as it were, to YouTube for being able to do this, right? So, whereas they're already paying money, obviously, they've already paid a lot of money, I should imagine, to Endeavour to, put this really good, and it is a really good app now. I think you'll probably notice on the Q&As, TNA did, they did admit that the Impact Plus app was absolute shit. So they did admit that.
That's disgusting.
But the current TNA Plus is very good. And I'm telling you now, I've got it. So I'm telling you now, it's a very good product. I've currently signed up to the standard monthly $9.99 package. That's what I'm on there at the moment. And I'm going to keep Insider for the weekly show so that I can watch it, half an hour after it airs on in the mornings like I do normally. So I'm going to keep the Insider package. So I'll make sure I do that. And then obviously for the specials, I will then transfer over to TNA Plus. And I'm considering doing the World Class package, mainly because they're offering like literally £80 off or $80 off, for which means that you get Slammiversary and BFG for free. So it makes sense. The only thing that bothers me is that they don't offer the World Class package on a monthly. Because for me, like lots of people, to suddenly fork out, £220 or dollars or whatever it is in one go, I think is a big deal. I think that's a big deal. I think a lot more people or more would be more inclined to sign up if it was, say, I don't know, $14.99 a month, for instance. Or do you know what I'm saying? If that was what if they did it that way, I think more and more people will be more inclined to take it up, and then the following year maybe up it to like $17.99 or something, because then that obviously includes the extra the pay-per-views, etc. I think people will be more inclined to do it because that one-off world-class payment is it's expensive. It's a lot of money. Now, the only problem I've got at the moment is I've been struggling to get TNA Plus on my TV. Now, I think that's my problem because I think there is an option that says, open Plus on your TV. When I go into there, it asks me to put a code in. Now, I don't know what that code is. So I think the problem is I need to find out what the specific code is for my TV to then put that code in to then get it onto onto my TV. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out what that is. In a moment, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how I'm going to find out what that is. But that's what I said, because what I thought it would do was if I was to like press that, all of a sudden it'd flick up on my TV a code or something. I'd put that code in and then it would basically cast
or you get a text or an email somewhere, it would come up there and you could do it from there.
Exactly, but no, there's nothing. So I'm not sure where I'm going to get this. I don't know where this code come from. If anybody in the chat has put this onto their TV via the code that you have to put in, by all means, let me know where I find this code, because I'm very keen to be able to put it onto my TV.
At the moment, you're banned from putting it on at the moment.
What do you mean?
You are banned from diving.
Oh yes, imagine if we could hear that again one day, but this time, not with the same words.
You are banned from diving.
Yeah. Anyway, Craig's joined us, but I don't know whether he can hear us.
Kind of. I'm trying to stay online.
Okay. Okay, so Melonhead saying, I look on the bright side. TNA have saved me £4 a month. Okay, well that's cool. That is cool. But so that is the bottom line. You know what I mean? Or you could still carry on watching the specials. You don't have to sign up for the world class thing. You could still carry on watching the specials and the pay-per-views via Triller. Or any of the other it used to be Fight
Thriller and Fight TV are the main ones you can get the specials on.
There you go. So they're still available. You can still go and get them. You can still watch them. The only issue
I was more basically annoyed that the news came out of nowhere. I'd literally just renewed my Ultimate Insiders for the next month. The £15 YouTube thing the day before the whole thing came about.
£15, you're paying a lot. $4.99.
Or what? That's the one. Yeah, that I renewed it. I was looking at the monthly special, the cost for the monthly subscription on TNA Plus app afterwards, and I've got the two mixed up. I did try to get on the TNA Plus app when it got switched over about 3 or 4 times, and they've not me back saying my card was unaccepted because it's apparently not the same card I was using, although it was the same card I was using when it was the Impact Plus app. So I'm going to try again at the end of the month and see if I can get onto the TNA Plus app, because
I think what you might want to do is if you had the old one on there, what you might want to do is completely uninstall the old one.
Oh, it's none of it was on my phone. It was all done through the internet on a browser.
Oh, you're putting it on. You're not putting it on your phone. You're putting it on your browser.
Just have it on my computer and then just do it there and then. It's just easier.
Well,
Craig's having too much problems.
All I know is it looks like it. All I know is that I don't believe it's as bad as people were suddenly up in arms. About it all, and I'm like, come on guys, think about this logically. The reality is that you can still do your monthly YouTube, still watch Impact every week, exactly the same way if you wanted to, or you can just cancel that completely, go straight over to TNA Plus, and you can watch it on there as well. The only difference is you can't watch it half an hour. It's basically an hour and a half or 2 hours after it starts on that, so it's it's 2 hours later than what it starts on.
I usually watch it like a day or two later. So
well, there you go. So it makes no difference to you whether it's on YouTube or not, right?
Yeah, it's just easy. It was working for me on YouTube, so it was the one that I was sticking with. Basically, was the only reason why.
I'm sure you'll be able to get it going, bud. I'm sure you'll be able to get it sorted, right? Because I'm sure now that they're going to be doing absolutely everything they can. They've probably taken on more people to deal with stuff, and I'm sure. But trust me, I think that the new TNA app is fantastic. No, you didn't get the specials with the Insiders. You only got the specials with Ultimate Insiders, Paul. So, that's the thing. That was the thing that you got extra, was that you got the specials.
The Ultimate Insiders. You got Joe Hendry's food fight. You got Callahan Uncensored when it was on there. You got all the digital exclusive stuffs, but you'll still get Explosion and Impact Wrestling on a weekly basis. I think is what you're going to be getting now.
Exactly, that's exactly what you're going to be getting. So the only thing is, I don't know whether you're going to get Explosion, because I think that will then become exclusive to TNA.
Yeah,
but I watched Explosion on TNA Plus.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you get the countdown to everything still as well. Otherwise, that will piss a lot of people off.
I'm sure you may get the countdown. You may get the countdown on YouTube. I'm sure you'll get that.
That's that's like the buy-in. That's to get you to buy in. So if they make that they take that off as well. Then a lot of
bottom line is here though is that the big thing that people were up in arms about was that they'd lost their ability to watch Impact every week. Well, they haven't. Yeah. you haven't lost that. Okay, that is still there. You just have to sign up to Insiders, which is like a buck or £1 a month. Okay, then you'll get every single Impact every week. So nothing's changed there. The issue obviously is that if you want your specials, the other thing I believe you could still sign up monthly to Fight TV or Thriller or whatever it's called now, right? Which you can do a monthly thing with them, which gives you the specials, I believe.
Yeah.
And it also gives you discounts and all the pay-per-views as well. So there are definitely other options available that aren't super expensive, that you can do what needs to be done. So that's my bit said. I don't know what you guys want to say on it. That's down to you. But I just think people have got a little bit sort of ahead of themselves without truly understanding what it actually meant, and that it wasn't actually exactly. They wanted to delete TNA, at that moment, when actually it isn't that bad. I mean, what are your thoughts in the chat, guys? Let's find out what you guys think on all of this. I don't know. In the moment, everyone's still talking about NXT by the looks of it. No interest.
Oh yeah, I was saying to everyone who was joined us before we started, I'm going to have to update the description because this at the moment, the big talking point today was that the Ultimate Insiders thing, and then the news about Jordynne Grace coming over to NXT comes on, and I'm like, fuck it, I got.
I'm a chance to do it. Which is fair. Craig, are you with us?
Yeah, mate. I'm just sat here enjoying the show.
Oh, good. No worries. We'll see if we can hear from you at time to time.
Yeah,
it's just good to be here.
Introduce him.
The ultimate finesser, your girl's favorite wrestler, Chris Bey.
Yeah, your girl's favorite podcast host, LimpstarUK.
Allegedly.
TNA didn't help putting out initial video that wasn't clear. To be fair, it wasn't as clear as it could have been. But I think the problem is, it is very difficult until you sort of kind of sit down and actually read the small print. There's a lot there. I think. There was a lot there that you needed to sort of kind of digest and understand, and then you could sort of sit back and go, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was. You know what I mean? So anyway, it looks like we need to move on a little bit. Now, the next thing I've got down here to have a quick chat about, and I'm interested in everyone's thoughts on this. Slammiversary open weekend. The opening weekend sales set a new
incredible
record. And I have to be honest. I have to say I did feel for some of the TNA faithful who were a little bit upset over the fact that before they even had a chance to get their usual front row seating, they were already gone on the obviously Montreal pre-sale. But what I have to say on this is that at the end of the day, we should be so happy that finally TNA have gone to a town where people are like chomping at the bit to see TNA.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing news.
I think the fact that they've banged out 500 plus tickets. I think they're getting on for like 1,000 tickets or something in the opening weekend. I think like literally within the first couple of hours they sold out all the floor seating by all accounts.
That was amazing, amazing.
Which is really good. But I have to say, okay. And the way that they approached the sales and the marketing and advertising in Montreal, the lead up to the opening of the ticket sales is exactly what they should be doing in every single place they go. But they don't.
It's what they're doing in Chicago as well.
They're starting
Chicago. Yeah.
But it must be that they've gone, oh, actually, this shit works, right? So let's go and do it here as well.
We touched on it a bit last week, and it's now showing that it's actually paid off.
I mean, the bottom line is, right, PCO, hometown wrestler, regardless of what you think of PCO, Craig, at the end of the day, the dude's been doing an amazing job. Like the last couple of weeks, that dude, right, has been out there doing a lot of legwork, right? He's been doing radio shows, TV shows, live appearances. He's been going to basketball games.
But he's not been doing it as PCO.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Like it would have been better if he was on the radio station or whatever and just stood there just going, TNA! TNA! If he stayed his character, I would have been convinced. But he's not. He's walking around like this really hench, like French Canadian dude. Which
but it's worked, hasn't it, Craig?
Yeah, so
I'm not denying that. I just think it could
there you go.
But
that's it. That's all that matters, isn't it? All that matters is he's gone out there, he's done the legwork, and the tickets have sold like hotcakes. Simple as that. That's all that matters, regardless. But you're right. He does need to stand there and just go like he does on the show. You're right. Yeah. Con!
It's Stephanie now. Stephanie!
Yeah, that's right. But either way, he's done an amazing job, and my hat is tilted. Hang on a second. My hat.
I'm looking at the comments. Did Mayor tell you that? Oh.
PCO. That's all I've got to say on the matter.
Yeah. For the listeners, the Bison has swung his hat around and bowed his head.
Yeah, I need to. I need to seriously get the new TNA cap, but I'm waiting for them to come back so I can buy it, like without having to pay all the extortionate delivery fees. But anyway, so I think they've done it. I think he's done an amazing job. I think the entire marketing strategy has been amazing, leading up obviously to the opening weekend sales for Slammiversary. Now, as it's been the record opening sales weekend for Slammiversary, is it going to be a record attendance? Do you think as well? I mean, current or recent years. So currently, I think the highest since the Anthem era has been
it's been the highest since the
3,500. I think.
Yeah, and probably it's the fastest selling since the end of the pandemic, and when Slammiversary opened, when the live crowds were allowed to come back. I think it's actually gone faster then, but then if that was the end of the pandemic, you have to factor in different things in that there really. But still, it's incredible news, and it's just like we said earlier, it's just showing that the marketing strategy is actually working now.
Can I just ask, like, a really unpopular opinion? Do you really care if the show sells out or not?
Yes.
You think that really matters?
Yes. Of course it matters.
Because
the promotion is.
I just think that, like, regardless of where it is and stuff like that, I just think that going to a show, we've all been to a live show. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those experiences where you have to be there. But regardless, I think we're concentrating too much on the numbers. Like, I'm jealous of if there was only 20 people there, I'd be jealous of every single one of those people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but now you're missing the point. You're missing the point. If there was only 20 people there wouldn't be a promotion to watch. This is the point. This is why people buying tickets, people going to the shows is important. Not only does it ensure that they're making money to potentially bring in more talent to pay the talent in the first place, right? They need that. This is what they need. Ticket sales equals, and also, Simon is correct. Ticket sales boost the public perception. That a bigger crowd, the better it will be. Look on screen to attract more fans. That's true, and it's true. You only got to look at AAW. Like, at the end of the day, the only thing that they have over us, it isn't the in-ring product. It isn't the product itself. It's the fact that they're in arenas with 5,000 to 10,000 people watching it. That's what they have.
Right.
Well,
Let's not run away with the AEW numbers. If you've not seen the pictures, it might be a 5,000 to 10,000 seat venue, but they have all 1,500 of them crammed behind the hard cam.
It's not true. They have some smaller gates. They do. There's no doubt about it. But they also do break that 5,000 to 10,000 quite regularly. So, let's not belittle them too much. For me, it's just the fact that at the end of the day, their product isn't as good as ours, in my opinion. Their product isn't as good as ours. They just are in bigger arenas. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Without people buying tickets, there is no money. Without people buying T-shirts, without buying merch in general, there is no money. And if there is no money, then there is no talent. There is no talent. There is no promotion. We want to be paying our guys
one
big money.
Chain of events.
Right. We want our guys. Well, none of these things. No big talent means no TV deal. At the end of the day, the ticket sales, the people watching the product matter, because at the end of the day, a network's not going to pick it up. A bigger network's not going to pick it up. So we get to more people unless they think they're going to get people watching the show. What's the point in paying X amount of money to bring this product onto our TV show if no one's going to watch it? Right. So that's what it's about at the end of the day. It's all about the money. You bring in the more money, you get better talent, you keep your talent. Like if you're a Jordynne Grace, right, or whatever, you're suddenly, turning up on NXT. We'll get to that in a minute. You're doing shit in NXT. You're going to go and do Battleground. Well, I don't know how many, but there's going to be probably a couple of thousand people watching that. Before you know, you're doing a Royal Rumble. There was like fucking 20,000 people watching that, or 40,000 people watching that, or whatever it was, right? That becomes a big deal. Jordynne Grace is going to want to do that more, right? If TNA pick up business, if their business picks up and all of a sudden every week or every couple of weeks, and they do whatever, she's going and performing in front of 5,000 to 10,000 people, that means they've got more money to pay her, right? Which means that when her contract comes up, she's going to go, well, you know what? Yeah, it was great going and performing in 40,000, but hey, they're giving me big money and I'm still getting to perform in front of 5,000 to 10,000 people every week.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool by me. I'm already millionaire anyway. So, I'd have to drop my my OnlyFans, which has made me my millions. So maybe it's not worth it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it gets to that point where, the draw to go to AEW is not just the money, it's the size of the promotion in terms of the amount of people they're going to perform in front of, that sort of kind of big time feel. You get that to a degree with TNA, but at the moment it's still in that lower echelon. We need to be getting to the point where every single TV taping is hitting like 1,500, 2,000 fans. Every pay-per-view is getting close to that 5,000 mark, for a pay-per-view, that type of thing. Then all of a sudden we're becoming a bit of a player. We're getting the money in, we're getting the revenue, we're showing advertisers that we can draw. And that means a lot. And so it means a lot to me as a fan of the promotion, because I want to see TNA thrive. I want to see the wrestlers get paid the money they deserve. I want to see bigger names coming into the company and creating a stir. I want to see big production show, So, I want to see regular steel cage matches that we haven't seen for a long time, because they cost a lot of money to put these kind of shows on. So, I want to see different sets for, not for a pay-per-view, for instance. I'm not bothered about the weekly show, but I'd like to see slightly different sets for the big 4 pay-per-views. You know what I mean? It'd be cool if we had a Summiversary set, which was completely different to what we see every week on TNA, not just different, not just a different logo. You know what I mean? Or just the ropes have changed color. I'd like to see something different, which is just basically themed around that specific event. those sort of things are the things that, you know, AEW can do, the things that WWE can do because they've got the money to do it, right? So, you know, I'd like to see pyrotechnics back. Well, they don't do them at the moment because it's bloody expensive, you know, to do pyrotech, because, you know, they're one-shot wonders, isn't they? A lot of the pyrotech stuff. It's just all facts, you know. That's how I feel about it. That's why I think it's important. Anyway, I've gone on an absolute rant there. I apologise for that.
It's all good there. Like some fans just said, all facts. It's good to hear.
Literally, as soon as you said it's all facts, that comment came up at the same time. That was perfect synchronicity between the two of you guys, or synchronization, or however the hell you want to say it. That was like,
there you go.
You couldn't make that timing up even more. That's just like something coming out of the void right there.
Hey Eli, nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. We got Antonia Baker is joined us as well. Let me have a look, see what we got. We got a few people joining us actually. Obviously, SWAC fans in there. He's there. Simon's joined us. Simon Plum, our good friend Simon, Antonio, Simon, SWAC. Obviously Melanin, Paul Matthewson's with us, which is good to see. So yeah, so we're building up.
Dragonstorm's here as well.
Oh, Dragonstorm's here. Nice to see you, bud. So we've got a load of people joining us. All the fam are here today, which is great. Okay.
Oh, I would love to see AJ Styles come back with Summerversary. That would be bloody brilliant. Have AJ Styles versus Mike Bailey.
Would
be incredible.
I think that's more.
Imagine that.
I think that's a build to BFG, but there you go. Shazza McKenzie.
Styles versus Josh Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Shazza McKenzie wanting to join the TNA Knockouts division, you know, according to what she's been putting out, as a lifelong dream. You know, and I think these are the kind of talents we need to sign. And actually, she's very good. She's actually a very good talent. But there's a few others out there that have recently been saying similar things, you know, that they've dreamt about, you know, performing in a TNA ring as part of the Knockouts, or just in general dreamed about performing in a TNA ring. And I think these are the guys who we need to make sure that we snap them up, because they're not just on a journey. They're also, you know, those are the sort of talents that will perform their tits off to be part of the TNA Knockouts roster, as long as it's not a flabby left tit. That's all I got to say on that one. But what are your thoughts on you know, when you see stuff like this, Craig? What do you think?
At the end of the day, mate, we're attractive. Do you know what I mean? We're attractive to talents out there, and it's great to be that place where people want to come and shine. Like we have. Well, I always bring it up when people say, "Why do you watch TNA?" I'm like, because I saw the best years of Kurt Angle's career. I believe we've seen the best years of Trinity's career, and Shazza McKenzie, she wants to come to TNA, so she will come and she will shine. She will do. Oh, is my signal gone? Shazza will come. She will shine. She'll have creative control of her character. She'll be able to do what she wants to do. And then, who knows where she'll go next? We don't know, but we will see just absolutely 100% of what she wants to be. And I think it's just great to be a TNA fan, because we see these people do it. You know, look at
Joe Hendry and Leon Slater would be two examples. Joe Hendry wanted to come back to TNA when he left, and when he came back, came back, and they let him be his own man, and he's just absolutely taken the world by storm. And Leon Slater is someone he never even he wanted to break out. TNA gave him the opportunity. He's taken it by the balls, and he's absolutely setting the world on fire.
Yeah, totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. And look, you know, Melonhead is talking. We saw the best years of Johnny Swinger. You know, and let's just welcome Jay back to Johnny Swinger.
The fact we saw Johnny Swinger was just like, you know, amazing in itself.
Yeah, there you go. See all this amazing stuff. Now, let's get to the big news, shall we? The one that it's just dominated our chat since for the past 35
You guys swing?
I've been completely ignoring you. I apologize. Jordynne Grace surprise appearance on WWE NXT brand to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. Open discussion on this, guys. I'm blown away. I mean, obviously, I watch NXT from time to time. because I think their brand's pretty good. And I do quite enjoy it. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Because, I think it's an amazing thing. The fact that her appearance on NXT got 3 million views on the WWE, social media channel. On their YouTube, they got 3 million views. Jordynne Grace, so far, right? They've had 3 million views. Jordynne Grace turning up on NXT. It's just insane. It's just like, and the fact that, you were getting TNA chants, deafening TNA chants in in what I like to call the NXT zone. We had TNA all the way through. I'm sorry, but there was no way that she needed to reintroduce herself. Because they clearly knew who she was.
It was a nice touch, though, wasn't it? It was nice that she kind of went in and introduced herself. But man, I'm fully with you. Hearing that TNA all the way through, like I don't watch NXT. My thoughts on WWE and all that whatnot. But I will say I have watched a recycled Twitter clip or something like that, and I saw what had happened in that. And the fact she came out, she was introduced to come out. She went out to the ring. She hit in the ring. Having the fans as well shouting the brand and stuff like that. It's like we're that naughty kid that people aren't supposed to like, but they chant our name. They want us.
Yeah, exactly. But other than obviously Booker T being about as limp as a I don't know, a rich tea biscuit left in Yorkshire tea for half an hour. Other than him, I thought that the other guy was pretty good. Who was the other guy, by the way? I don't know who the other guy was on commentary, but he was very competent. You could even go,
he was absolutely. He said, "Oh," he said, "Holy shit!" And then he really realized that. Said, I'm probably going to kick off for this. He completely went out of character and just he was so excited.
Slammiversary a little while ago.
What?
Isn't that the guy that done Slammiversary as a guest commentator?
Not sure. I think
I don't know his name. I'd have to Google it, but I've got a feeling that he was on Slammiversary for Scott D'Amore brought him out as a guest commentator for the main event.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't know who that was. Anyway, everyone, as you were.
Vic Joseph.
Okay, Vic Joseph. There you go. So Vic Joseph. Thank you ever so much. Smash this
it was
podcast.
just how Booker T, where she was going, my name is Jordynne Grace. He's like, Joker. Whatever he was saying. I was like, check on him, please. He said something that's just like, what a way to ruin the audio. What a way to just ruin the moment.
Yeah, that's jugger shit. I was like, oh, shut up, you fucking stupid cunt.
He sounded like a sulking teenager. No.
I can't stand Booker T. Honestly, I cannot stand.
Do you know what I would like to see though? If we have a crossover, I want Matt Hardy in the ring and I want Booker T in the ring, and I just want them both going, yes, yes. That's it. That's my fancy match. No fighting, just them with a mic. They're perfect for NXT or WWE because that's what they do.
It's wonderful. That's what needs to happen. I think when Matt retires from the ring, he needs to go on commentary and just say stuff like that. Wonderful, absolutely, green beans for everyone. Oh, just all the way through the matches, it'd be amazing.
No, he would be good on commentary. Or backstage in creating a creative role, he would be incredible.
Man, I think
he get anything done. It just be stood there just going, They'd be like, get your point across.
Did you go back and watch that match I told you when I said some of the best bits was watching Matt on the outside?
I did.
Just like go, wonderful. Yeah, like all the way. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. What's that? I'm hoping we'll see Santino's daughter, Ariana Grace, from NXT and TNA. That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. She's very young, isn't she?
Yeah.
Is she like 18 or something? She's not very old.
Did you did you see that your favorite turned up on NXT as well? Ethan Page.
Oh, what a penis. Yeah, we did see him.
The thing is like I looked and I was just like, when I first seen it, I had to check it. I was like, is that photoshopped? Because I didn't believe that he went to NXT. It's just like he's just he's just completely like flopped, basically, in my personal opinion. Wicked wrestler, complete asshole. And then
He
they had
is
on NXT. I looked and I was just like, is this photoshopped? And then all of a sudden, the Jordynne Grace come up, and I thought this Photoshop is really convincing. That's when I went and had a look for the clips, because of course I don't watch NXT. And then, like you said, what? Jordynne Grace got like 3 million views or something like that on there. Is it there?
Yeah, but how underwhelming for him, the fact that at the end of the day, the news wasn't him turning up, it was Jordynne Grace.
Is it called Ethan Page there, or is he called like...
That's what I say. Good. All I got to say is Ethan Page. This is my reaction to Ethan Page not turning up on TNA. That is my reaction. This one. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Ah, Christ, the bloody thing's delaying. Here we go.
And then he talks over it.
No, the bloody computer's lagging, and it was scrolling up as I was bloody tapping it.
Yeah, I see what like, STP's saying, that like, he was a top trender and stuff like that. We don't need a top trender. We've got Joe Hendry. He's been in the UK charts.
Yeah,
Ethan Page,
sorry.
All right, so we were better than Ethan Page.
He was completely overshadowed by the Knockouts world champion Jordynne Grace. End of. As far as I'm concerned, Ethan Page can just fuck off. He's rubbish, isn't he? I'm trying to set him up.
Yeah. Let's move on. I was ready to click Joe Hendry one, but let's just move on.
Promise me that you'll drop it in completely random at some point throughout.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right. It is true. At the end of the day,
you to just rub it in.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, they've got Ethan Page, but we've got world trending, world multi-artist selling Joe Hendry.
And we all know we believe.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, baby. You know
it. I'm also looking at the numbers popping up in the chat, so I'm trying to keep my eye on the chat as well as do all this at the same time. It's frying what's left of my brain.
It is funny. It's all funny. Look, Swack believes. Everyone believes, baby. Everyone believes. Look, Terrence believes in Bison by the looks of it. But listen, it's all good. So Jordynne Grace, she makes a surprise appearance. She's going to be facing I've forgotten her name already now. Is it Roxanne Perez or something? I don't know.
Yes.
Is that her name?
Roxanne.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Going to be facing her for the NXT Championship. From what I can gather, she's pretty damn good. So I'm interested to see how that pans out. Now, also next week, I believe on NXT, she's going to be facing former Roxy. Is that right?
Yes.
Former Roxy. I think she's called something else now. Is it Summit Tracy or something? Or something? I don't know. What's her name now?
Oh, God.
What's her name on NXT? We had it earlier, didn't we? I can't remember her name. But it's Roxy, isn't it? The former Roxy that we've seen perform before on TNA. Yeah. So he's going to face her.
She is good. So this is going to be a fucking good match.
Stevie Turner. There you go. She's now called Stevie Turner. I prefer Roxy, to be honest, but never mind. So she's going to face her. Hang on. No, Perez is former Roxy. Okay. So there you go. So I knew one of them was. Okay. So that's great. I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, Jordynne is definitely already faced her. I can't think when. Yeah. But Anyway, either way, she's an incredible talent. She's the current NXT Women's Champion. She's going to go up against Jordynne Grace. Is it Battleground? I believe is the name of the pay-per-view, or the big special event, or whatever it is going to be. And it's not this weekend, but it's next weekend, is that right?
Yeah. Yes. From what I can remember, yes.
I might have to go and see that. I might have to see that. I might have to go and see what
I'm probably going to end up watching it too, but the pop that Jordynne Grace got was just said it all. But this is going to be amazing, and then the fact that she's also got a match next week as well against one of their stars is just great too. They're not just giving her one big match, and they're actually going to let the world see what she can do.
Well, of course, they're going to give her a squash match, aren't they? Because they got to make her. They're giving her this Stevie Turner.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be.
Jordynne's going to be the going to jugger all over her, and then
Stevie Turner was on NXT UK, so she's pretty well established.
I'm not saying she's not, but they're going to give her a match to make Jordynne Grace look incredible, because there's no point in making her look not that amazing. They want to get her in there. They want to give her a bit of a thing. They're going to make Jordynne Grace jugger all over Stevie Turner to set up this kind of formidable match at Battleground. I'd love to see Jordynne win. Could you imagine if Jordynne won the NXT title, and then what happens is we get a rematch,
champ challenge.
We get a rematch at Slammiversary or something, or Against All Odds or something like that. I don't know. Thinking about it though, isn't Battleground the same weekend as Against All Odds? Am I right in thinking?
So I think it's the same weekend. Yeah,
it's the same weekend, isn't it? Except I think is Against All Odds on one night, and then the other night is Battleground.
Yes,
I'm thinking Against All Odds is Friday. Battleground's probably.
Yeah.
Oh no, Eli's saying it's the week before.
Oh, thank God! I was thinking it's going to be one hell of a journey for Jordynne Grace to get from A to B. Although Mike Bailey can do 6 matches in one night in 3 different states, so and Jordynne Grace has done a similar schedule.
Oh no, Courtney's saying it is the same weekend. Yeah, Courtney's saying it is the same weekend. So obviously you're going to get Against All Odds, which is going to be on the Friday, isn't it? So I'm assuming that this is on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Or is it on the Sunday? I don't know. It's either going to be on the Saturday or the Sunday, isn't it?
It's going to be good.
All I know is, there you go. It's on the Sunday, so there is a day in between. So you're going to get Against All Odds on the Friday, you get a day off, and then she's going to be at Battleground on the Sunday. So it's going to be a hell of a weekend, that, isn't it, for Jordynne Grace? A hell of a weekend.
Brilliant.
And I think that does tell you that potentially we're going to see something happen Against All Odds. I can see a run-in or some sort of kind of jumping her backstage, or something goes down Against All Odds, to then help set up the match at Battleground possibly. So that'd be good, because then what we're actually going to potentially see here is a full-on, almost crossover thing going on possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. So Battleground is the 9th. And Against All Odds is June 14th.
Okay.
Well, there you go. So it's the following week then. So either way, I'm sure we're going to get some kind of crossover between the 2 events. I'm sure, which I think would be really, really cool. But there you go. All I know is, and what we've got going on here is one hell of a co-promotional branding thing going on. I'm sure that this will mainly lead to possibly Slammiversary. Something will happen at Slammiversary. Somebody's going to
I'm hoping we get Natalia in for Slammiversary.
I know you're looking. I know everybody wants to see Natalia, but who knows? Or maybe we can, like you say, Paul Mapson saying maybe we get a joint pay-per-view.
That would be huge. That would be
good.
That would be amazing. That would really, really shut Tony Khan up as well. In bragging about
one of the craziest rumors One of the craziest rumors I've heard. Now I don't know how true this is. I don't know whether there's any truth to it whatsoever. But I have heard a crazy rumor that potentially the reason this is starting to happen now is that TKO have actually got a stake in TNA. Whether they own TNA, or they've got a sharehold in TNA now, we don't know.
Who's that?
But there's a rumor. There is a rumor that's been going around that there's potentially something going down. But I don't know. I can't imagine that's happened. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I think it's just a smart business.
It could be a really smart business move from Anthony's point of view, because you think about it. If WWE or TKO did have a stake in TNA, that might help them in the future get a TV deal.
Yeah, well, look at Ring of Honor and AEW as a whole. They're both separate companies run under the same person, but they're still separate companies, and they're both highly successful. Whatever you think of Dynamite, but Ring of Honor's it's had some good matches on.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Huh? What shite?
You said
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Is that Dynamite? Dynamite. You got Dynamite.
Yeah. But Ring of Honor is some
Punami is collision, isn't it? Punami, and anyway, lots of bullshit going on. That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be a great name for a wrestling show. Punami. That'd be amazing.
I could see it be something in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a GCW show. To be fair, they come up with some weird names.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting pay-per-view, the Punami pay-per-view. But anyway, so lots of cool shit going on, lots of cool stuff going on that could lead to all sorts of stuff. But who knows? But again, Dobby, you're right, mate. You're right. A lot of that crap is just people making up shit on Twitter. I'm just saying, I've heard it sort of kind of being banded around, and who knows? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and that's the thing. That's what I was trying to say about like the Scott D'Amore stuff. At the end of the day, you don't know what was going on behind closed doors. And,
no!
What's that?
I just think Courtney's comment. Jake Hager's a free agent, and not being funny, but like this whole sort of Cody Deaner saying that he's talking to the people. Wasn't that Jake Hager's like?
I don't know, mate. All I know is Jake Hager
the people.
is shit. That's all I know. Jake Hager is shit. And the only time I ever saw him,
Jake Deaner.
I saw him on WWE back in like years ago or whatever, and I was like, okay, he was all right, but he was being banded around as like the next Kurt Angle, if you remember. And then and like he's not even good enough to lace up Kurt's boots, in my opinion. And then I saw him live. Now, if I remember right, I think the promotion I went to see him at was a promotion called 5 Star. They were a flash in the pan. They had a TV deal for about 6 months, and they were spending a fortune on bringing people like Jake Hager in and people like that to main event their shows, right? And honestly, I saw him in this main event, and everybody in the crowd were like, "Man, this guy is shit." And nobody was down with this guy at all. So I got and they must have paid this dude a fortune, but everyone was like, man, what a fucking waste of money this guy is. Yeah, he was crap. He had no charisma. There was nothing about him at all. And, you're right, Jake. Jake Hager, it could be the new Con. You never know. You never know. I don't know.
We don't need a new one. We don't need one at all.
We don't need any more. We don't need any more cons. But either way, no. Jake Hager, absolutely no, thank you very much. We don't need that. But guys, let's talk about Explosion, because Explosion was actually pretty good this week. So Explosion, TNA Plus from the Vault match was Joe Hendry. Now, this is what I've been saying for a while, right? Why do your Vault matches have to always be talents that are no longer with the company? So this, to me, is exactly what TNA from the Vault match should be. Joe Hendry versus Brian Myers from 2022 Impact taping.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
bloody
It took
thing
a
is not
while.
responding. This
It
thing
took a
is not
while, but
responding.
we got there. We got there.
Oh,
Do
God.
Do you know what, Joe?
Okay.
I was fully expecting them to just click "fuck off."
Yeah.
We're both there, poised and ready to clap, and he just said "fuck off."
Fuck you. Yeah. So, but this is exactly what we
Fucking
talked
touch
about in
fell
the
on his
past.
laptop.
You know,
God.
If you're going to go back and you're going to go looking at matches from the past, look at matches that include talents that are currently on the roster. You know, go back and look at Eric Young matches, right? Go back and check out Frankie Kazarian matches, Joe Hendry, Brian Myers, talent. I mean, let's face it, you could have a Joe Hendry versus fucking Grado match from the Vault.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry's currently on the roster. You know, all I'm saying is, you know, we need to be thinking about that. You could have like a 2018 Josh Alexander match. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
even the North never had a bad match. So, you know,
you could have some of the you could have some lax matches now. You could have some LAX matches with, you know, involving, you know, Mike Santana. You know, we've got talents that are still on the roster, or that are on the roster now that were around, you know, 5, 10 years ago. You could have Eddie Edwards matches. You know what I mean? Just make sure you're including the current talent. That's what I think anyway. So Eric Young goes around the ring with Gia Miller, which I think was pretty good. I'm a massive fan of Eric. I've interviewed him a couple of times myself. So go and check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to meet him, and I got his wrist tape across my face during his match.
That's true. That is true. In case you missed it, was of course the Ball of Speed versus Trent Seven from Impact the previous week. Which, like I say, if you missed that, then you must have been on another planet. Explosion main event was Masha and of course Alicia Edwards, the current knockouts tag champs, versus Shazza McKenzie and Jada Stone, who I was actually very impressed with as well. I thought this was a great match. And
they were both incredible.
Yeah, and showing a great debut for both Shazza and Jada Stone. In the knockouts division, whether they get signed and stick around for a bit, I don't know. But
I've heard the names before as well. I've heard especially Shazza McKenzie. I've heard her before, and that as soon as I saw them both, they were like that. They were two people I thought would click in the knockouts division perfectly. So I hope that they do get signed. And looking at the comments on Explosion, everyone was calling for them to get signed. You know, they were fantastic, and they just clicked. Like they're like these people you can see that just need to be on TNA.
I agree. I think Shazza and Jade. Do you know Jada Stone actually? The way that she moved, and her sort of kind of moveset reminded me a little bit of Kiera Hogan.
Yeah.
Like her body shape, the way that she moved in the ring, her moveset was very similar to Kiera Hogan, who I was also a very big fan of. Now, apparently she's from OVW, so there you go, Melonhead. Thank you for that. I didn't realize that, but that's good. So I was impressed with Jada Stone. Shazza McKenzie, I have seen a few times before, and she's Australian. She's good friends with Steph De Lander, from what I can gather. Great to have her on the show, and I'd like to see both those a little bit more. Whether they were signed, Shazza definitely, but I would certainly like to see a little bit more of these guys, and if that means that they get signed and we get to see them a lot more, then I'm all for that. So that was good. Obviously, Masha and Alicia pick up the win, which I was impressed with. I'll tell you what, Jada Stone, she did an amazing moonsault onto Masha in that match. It was really good. Really, really good. That was good. So then we move into Impact, guys. So we opened up Impact with the System versus Matt Hardy and, of course, Ryan Nemeth. After a very competitive matchup, Matt Hardy and Ryan Nemeth pick up a victory, of course, over the tag champs, the System. And I think I thought this was a really, really good match. Incredibly
Wonderful.
Lots of wonderfuls was spoken on the ringside. I think we got to see how good Ryan Nemeth actually is. He's actually very, very good in ring better. But after the match, Myers blindsides Nemeth, prompting Matt Hardy to come to his aid. Suddenly, Moose appears and hits Hardy with a spear. The system picks up Hardy, and Moose spears him again. They continue beat down Hardy while Moose grabs a chair. They set up the chair up on Nemeth's neck, just like they did with Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth's music hits, of course, the Wanted Man, storms in the ring, clearing it. Nemeth is back. I mean, I thought it was a cool setup. I think it worked really, really well. And of course, again, further in the storyline, which is what we want to see. Hi, David, by the way. David Ballantyne's in the house. Nice to see you, mate. What's that? Breaking news. Brett Lauderdale has a deal in place to buy TNA from Anthem Sports. Undisclosed amount of money. Right, I'm assuming that's a joke. But anyway.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Well, Brett money, because there is no amount of money.
Well, Brett Lauderdale's a guy that owns GCW, am I right? Or does he own MLW? Is that, I don't know. I can't remember which one of them, but one of them owns one of them. I think it's GCW. Yes, exactly, Courtney. Your boyfriend is back.
Oh, I don't know, but if he wants to merge TNA and GCW, I am all for it. That'd be hectic.
Merge the two, do you think? I don't know. That'd be crazy. Anyway, meanwhile, Gia Miller is standing by with ABC. She asks if it's a good thing that Bayley and Trent are fighting tonight, given the tension within ABC. Chris Bey denies any tension, accusing Gia of trying to stir the pot.
The ABC.
Exactly. Anyway, Ace Austin steps in, suggesting that maybe a match is what they need to work things out and get back on the same page. Not the Ethan page, the same page. Bey agrees, and they head off to talk to Santino. Santino is seen talking on the phone and confirms that ABC's Ace Austin and Chris Bey will battle next week. Just then, Matt Hardy, Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth enter the frame. Santino asserts that Matt and Ryan deserve a tag title match or title shot against the system since they pinned them. Matt interjects, stating that he came back to TNA for the World Championship. Nick steps up, saying he'll team with his brother Ryan to take down the system. Matt remarks that the Nemeth boys, did you notice that the way he said Nemeth boys with like a Z on the end, so he said Nemeth boys, not boys. Would make great tag team champions. Nick agrees, adding that after Matt wins the world title, he'll be the first in line for a shot at, and Matt agrees. Okay, so that was, I mean, it was again, we're setting up stuff for the future, which is great. And then of course we then find out later that those matches are, pardon me, are set for against all odds. We then get the Rascals versus Sinner and Saint. Wentz obviously ends up securing the victory for the Rascals after a pretty good showing from Travis and Judas, Sinner and Saint.
They were incredible too.
Really impressed with Judas, actually. I thought they were pretty good. I've never seen these guys before, so if anybody in the chat would like to give us some info on these guys, I'd be interested to hear a little bit about that. After the Rascals celebrate their victory, Steve Maclin ambushes them from behind, targeting Zachary Wentz with a clothesline before tying up both Wentz and his partner. Maclin then delivers his devastating finisher into the crosshairs, leaving the Rascals down and out in the ring. Maclin turning up, creating mayhem, tagging them and bagging them, job done.
Maclin's message sent, business is done. Let's move on. That's what Maclin's intention is. Whether or not it happens now, we just wait to see this week. They said next
exactly.
week. I'm thinking like a bloody 24 hours behind or whatever.
So that all said, Gia Miller then interrupts Steve Maclin to inquire about his attack on the Rascals. Maclin declares that it's payback and he intends to ensure it's over. Redirecting his focus back to Santana. Santana then appears and challenges Maclin to a match next week on TNA Impact. So we've set up a match for next week from a backstage segment. We then go back into the arena where
when Gia spoke to Maclin, he jumped. It's almost like he wasn't expecting her to be there. That made me laugh.
Quite funny. We then head back into the arena where Frankie Kazarian is confronting Jade Chung and just shouting it at her, and we don't know what really was going on. He was which then prompted security to rush in and to separate them. Now, despite the reference, Kazarian grabs the mic and announces that he is leaving on his own accord. And as he's leaving, Cody Deaner's music hits. There's a lot to break down in this next segment, so I'm just going to blast through it and let's see what you guys think. Okay. So Cody Deaner's music hits as he enters the ring and grabs the microphone. He addresses the crowd, stating that he has unresolved issues to settle in Newport. Deaner then calls out his cousin Jake Something, who promptly heads to the ring, visibly fired up, of course, because he's always fired up. He's Jake Something. Deaner acknowledges the harsh blow from Jake last week hurt, but admits that deep down he believes he deserved it due to his actions when he joined Violent by Design. Deaner expresses his desire to fight alongside Jake rather than against him, leaving the decision to the people. He asks the crowd if they want to see Jake shake his hand and extends his hand toward Jake. However, the Good Hands music then interrupts, and John Skyler and Jason Hodge make their way to the ring. Siding with Jake Something, Skyler mocks Jake, which leads to Jake knocking him out cold. And he literally knocked him out cold. This sparks a brawl between Deaner, Jake, and the Good Hands. Santino appears and announces a match, a KFC match.
Son of a gun.
Yes. Short for Kentucky Fight Club match. Now, I've never heard of this before. So, before we get into the match, what are your thoughts on all of this? It went down. Let's go with you, Joe.
I liked it. You know, Jake Something clobbering Deaner. That was like when Jake Something came back. That was something I was waiting to see for a very long time, and I was even like teasing it myself once or twice on Twitter to both of them. That there's still that unfinished business there. Like, when you two are going to settle it and everything, and Deaner now have completely changing character from going back to babyface, and that it's just pushing his character more. And it's also showing that Jake Something has not gone full blown heel. He's just pissed off at Deaner, because one thing I didn't want to see was a full heel turn from Jake Something, given that there's quite a lot of heel guys at the top of the roster already, and we need a babyface X Division champions. And the way the Good Hands came down and pissed everybody off is just classic Good Hands, and that was great to see too, because they can never get bored of seeing someone get their comeuppance from Jake Something. Never get bored of that. It was a good segment, and I enjoyed it. It was a good way to progress the story without going on forever, basically, or making one or two pointless matches from it. They just made this one match from it, and making it a Kentucky. I can't remember what the hell he called it now.
It's a Kentucky Fight Club match. Now, like, to be fair, like, what the fuck is a Kentucky Fight Club? And it's just basically a no holds barred type.
Yeah, it was a great way to get the fans involved and rally the fans up, which is what Deaner was doing, and then Santino's doing it. So all the fans are getting involved in everything too. So it's keeping them engaged in everything, which is really good to see. Just little things like that to keep everyone engaged after especially after we're seeing Frankie Kazarian going off and everyone wondering what the fuck's happening here.
Yeah, man, I get that. I get that.
So it was all good.
Okay, so the Good Hands versus Cody and Jake Something. Now, I thought after a convincing performance, basically Cody and Cody and Jake pick up the victory. Now, like, to be fair, like the match was like, I don't know, 3 minutes, if that. And it was just basically the good hands getting their asses handed to them, like always, basically. I don't know where they get their sort of gumption from, really, because every time they're in a match, they get their asses handed to them. So I'm not really quite sure why they think they're, that they're going to do anything, especially just someone like Jake, who is just basically a monster powerhouse. But anyway. After the match, Dina extends his hand for a handshake, and Jake something accepts, shaking his hand, signifying a moment of respect and unity between the two. Now, it was
it's moments like that
tears to my eye.
Yeah, moments like that I really do like to see. You know, when rivalries are real serious rivalries are just set aside. You know, it's always good to see those moments once or twice, and this is one of those times where it was needed.
You can't get, but you can't beat a good feel-good moment, can you? You can't.
No, you can't.
No, it's just lovely to see. Brought a tear to my eye. Anyway, Gia catches up with Jordynne Grace before her match with Marti Bell. Grace confidently declares that she's going to demonstrate to the world why she's known as the Juggernaut, and that nothing can stand in her way.
Or as Booker T says, it's the blah, 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 blah.
There you go. So that was that. It was very, it was straight to the point, and that was it. The system is shown strategizing and discussing their upcoming matches at Against All Odds. Joe Hendry enters the frame.
I was looking at the chat and having the list set up.
Oh, Joe. You risk every time.
Because I like scumbags.
Okay, fair enough. Joe Hendry.
That's not an
Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards.
That's just insulted the entire chat now.
Yeah. Anyway, Eddie Edwards dismisses Hendry, calling him a joke and a flash in the pan. This leads to a challenge being.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes, totally. This leads to a challenge being made for the match next week on TNA Impact. So we've got another match set up. Now, as Jordynne Grace and Marti Bell prepare for their Knockouts Championship match, the personal concierge announces that Ash Bryant is still recovering from the injury sustained last week when Xia Brookside punched her with the bejeweled knuckles. To fill in for Ash, he introduces her stand-in, which turns out to be a mannequin dressed in Ash's attire. Okay, so before we get into the match, what are our thoughts on the way this is going? Because I've got to say now, for me, this is kind of turning Jordynne Grace's matches into a bit of a joke. And I think they need to stop. What do you think on this, Craig?
Mate, do you know what? Again, it was another segment that was just a bit weird. And Jordynne Grace is just having an exhibition of any talent who wants to walk through the door. But then she's walking through someone else's door and taking over the show. So it's a bit like it's. I can see what she wants to do in TNA. She's threatening anyone and everyone. She can do what she wants.
Yeah.
I do feel like having a main event with like a concierge come out with a dummy, that took the shine off of Marti Bell coming into the ring, and well, Marti back, Jesus Christ! I didn't realize she had that in a artillery. So she it was a good match, but at the same time, I didn't think it was like it wasn't groundbreaking. It was a bit cheesy with the dummy and stuff, and it's really weird. But the thing is what we got to kind of remember is that there's the segments. Do you know what I mean? We have live shows recorded over a matter of days. So in those matter of days, they probably all make sense. But we're watching them week after week after week. So it's kind of, I find it a bit stale.
So, okay.
All I could say to the person, the concierge, is
off.
Yeah. We're liking that one in a minute. Anyway, so
that was my thought on that whole segment. But the match itself was bloody good. And it was so
the match was pretty solid. I did say that. I mean, I think the match was really strong. I thought it was a good match. I just thought that opening segment almost sets it up to sort of fail, if you know what I mean. It sets it up as a bit of a joke. And I get this meant to be a bit of a joke. But then you get a badass match, which sort of kind of overshadows that. And then, obviously, you know, Marti Bell being back, which was really good. But, you know, obviously Jordynne gets her victory. Now, as Jordynne Grace walks up the ramp after her victory, she's blindsided on the stage, of course, by returning Allysin Kay, who is Marti Bell's teammate in the Hex. Now, we've spoke about the Hex in previous, saying that we wish they'd come back. Grace quickly tries to obviously fend her off, but before she can recover, Bell jumps her from behind. Together, Kay and Bell execute their devastating tag team finisher. Hex marks the spot on Grace, leaving her flattened and vulnerable. Now, great to see the Hex back. Really, really good to see both of them back. I hope they're around for a little while because, again, for me, I don't understand why they've not signed these two. Maybe they have now. I don't know. But I think these two should be sticking around and would make great tag champs if they could get to that point. I think they're great. Pinkies up. That's all.
Pinkies up, indeed.
Pinkies up, baby.
Huge fan of Allysin Kay.
Huge fan, of course, former Sienna from TNA. Great talent. And Marti Bell again, like she's great. She's so good.
She was incredible.
She's a great talent. And again, two fantastic talents that should, by their own right, be signed to the Knockouts division, if you ask me. That's just my opinion on it. I'd like to see that. Now, at Under Siege, Jonathan Gresham, infamously coughed up ink and jammed it into Kushida's mouth, leaving a lasting impact on both wrestlers. This disturbing moment was revisited on Explosion, where Kushida was seen coughing up ink, indicating the lingering effects from Gresham's vicious attack. Santino is shown calling Jonathan Gresham and leaving a voicemail expressing his concerns about the recent health issues among those Gresham has been working with. He informs Gresham that as a precautionary measure, referees, why only referees, but referees will be required to wear masks and gloves during his matches moving forward. I don't know. What about the talent they have to face him? Maybe they should be wearing gloves and masks as well. But you know, again, obviously we're forward in this story. We've been talking about, you know, we think, you know, the ink being, you know, put down their throats or whatever it is, you know, being spat out at them is a way of sort of kind of like possibly bringing them into the, you know, the Gresham new faction, the ink fashion that he's creating, the, you know, the Octopussies, or whatever it is that he's going to call his team. The Octopussies, I think, would be a great name for Jonathan Gresham's new faction. Isn't it? People, come on! What a great name for the faction. The Octopussies.
Just get PCO shouting that. Just get PCO coming out and going, Octopussy!
Octopussy! Yeah.
Pussy! Pussy!
Pussy! Octopussy! Yeah, that'd be great. I think that'd be really cool. Anyway, so we've been talking about that we think that at some point, you know, we're gonna get I know Kushida back wearing some kind of Octopussy mask and
it's a great way to push Kushida push Kushida somewhere, because at the moment no one really knows what's happening with him, or what's going to, where's he going, or what's to do.
Well, we know that he's buggered off to Japan for a little bit. So I think maybe when he comes back, we're going to see the new Octopussy version of Kushida.
So it's great. It
He's going to be known as Octashida.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Pussy Kush. Pushy Sheeda. I don't know.
It doesn't leave him out in the open and felt like he's left out to dry. Because everyone thought after the Motor City Machine Guns had gone, that Kushida would be a third wheel.
Do you reckon Kushida could come back with kind of like a nod to the Great Muta, though?
Hey, man.
Yes,
yeah,
cool. Absolutely. You know, I can see Kushida using the poison.
I still think he needs to be called Pushy Sheeda. I definitely think he needs
you know,
Pushy Sheeda.
Pushy Sheeda. Or Octashida. One or the other.
Yeah.
But,
What was that faction called? The Pussy Splitters. There we go. That's what.
Yeah. The Pussy Splitters.
Oh God.
Welcome to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about everything tonight.
The Pussy Splitters have entered the building. Anyway.
One thing we didn't mention was Jordynne Grace's earring got stuck in Marti Bell's tights. That was fucking brutal as well.
Yeah, someone mentioned that. Who mentioned that? Melonhead mentioned that.
Melonhead mentioned it in the chats. I saw some of the pictures afterwards, and Jordynne Grace. That was, oh my God, that was painful. I was when I watched the match last night. I was looking to see when it happened, but I couldn't see it on. But so
listen, let's go away from this a minute, right? I'm going to totally go away from this. We're already at 1 hour 22, but anyway, listen to this, Craig. Right, I had this idea ages ago. I don't know what about you, but I'm a massive Walking Dead fan. Right.
Okay.
In fact, I'm currently rewatching The Walking Dead, leading into watching the new one that's coming out, or the new ones that have already been out in the States for ages, but we're only just getting them over here. The ones who lived or whatever it's going to be called. Anyway, so I'm watching all the Walking Deads again. And I honestly believe, and I thought about this ages ago, right? Listen to this, right? Listen to this. So, a faction, right, based around the group in The Walking Dead that were called the Whisperers, right?
Right.
They basically wore masks of The Walking Dead people. Like they wore these, like basically they wore other people's faces. They literally cut people's faces off and put it on their heads, right? And walked around pretended to be walkers from The Walking Dead, right? Now, and they were called the Whisperers because basically when they were in the mode of traveling with the herds of Walking Deads to get to where they wanted to get to, they would whisper to each other. Yeah, they were they knew what they were whisper, so they were called the Whisperers. Right. Anyway, how cool would a faction based around the Whisperers wearing zombie masks, right? Okay, like proper horror style, right?
Like Crazy Steve did.
No, not like Crazy Steve at all. Like literally like zombie characters wearing these.
So what are you saying? You want a faction called the Pussy Whisperers?
The Pussy Whisperers would be good. Yeah. Yeah. Or the Pussy Lickers. No, the Pussy Whisperers. No, I'm not saying that. No, what I'm saying is a faction based around that.
Zombie pussies.
The pussy zombies. I don't know. The zombie pussies.
Right, yeah. But no,
Anyway.
the thing is, I like your creative direction. That sounds amazing. And I think that finally TNA is in a place with creative backstage where that would be really good. If you go back to, have you ever watched the first ever episode of NWA TNA? Like that just tag team that came out and they're just like all bandaged up and that.
Yeah, the mummies.
Yeah.
They were mummies. That's a bit different. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, right? But all I'm saying is like the Whisperers were amazing. They were great. They had basically they were like a pack of wolves as well. So they based their tribe around like a wolf pack. So you had an alpha, beta, and all that, right? Beta was like basically the muscle, and he was massive. He was like, in fact, have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy? He was OP. I've forgotten his real name, his actual name, but he was OP in Sons of Anarchy. Played this guy, massive tall guy, and he played this guy Beta. And I thought it would be so cool if someone like what's the name of the big guy that used to be in OVE? Fulton. Madman Fulton, right, with his dreads, his whole style, Beta would be absolutely spot on to play that character, right? And anyway, it was just something I thought of. Apparently it's disgusting. According to Mary, thinks it's absolutely disgusting.
No, that's not disgusting.
Mary, you love pussy. Come on, man.
Look, Paul Matheson thinks zombies munch on anything. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Again, we've already got PCO. If you think about it, he's like the Walking Dead, right? That's true.
Very true.
But let's move on. Let's get a bit more creative. Let's create the whisper.
Maybe
effect.
that's what Rosemary's going to start swaying towards. Whatever.
Oh, we were talking about Rosemary before we came on about the possibility of Su Yung maybe coming back. Now it's actually rumors circulating that.
Wonderful.
The rumors are that more about Su Yung actually might be coming back, and
it's starting to hype up a bit now.
Yeah, that is where I can see Rosemary coming back. She is saying we're not human anymore. She's going to go down to the Undead Realm and come back with the Undead Bride, and then they're going to dominate the Knockouts Tag Team division. Although I would love to see Rosemary take on Jordynne Grace or whoever the next Knockouts World Champion is, and win that title again before.
We need a Rosemary push, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think
Rosemary.
We do. We
but
she's
going to
done
be
too much for us. Do you know what I mean? She deserves it.
Mate, she's incredible.
She's going to go full blown heel mode again when she comes back into the ring.
I agree. I agree. Now let's get back to Impact. Jody Threat versus Tasha Steelz. Of course, Tasha Steelz defeats Jody Threat in the end, but it was a really, really solid match. I don't want to go too much into this now because we're running a little bit out of time with all the other discussions going on. So,
I told you Tasha would win there last week. I did tell you that.
You did, mate. You did. Yep. You did, and I thought Jody was gonna do it because I wasn't sure what plans they got for Tasha at the minute, but maybe they've got some more plans for her because they needed to get a win under her belt. So she's got a win, and she's got a couple of wins under her belt now because I think she won on Explosion as well the other week. So she's got a bit of momentum at the minute. We then go backstage, and PCO is seen holding the Black Rose and shouting, "Steve! Steve!"
You felt sorry for him. You felt so sorry for him not finding Steph.
I did.
You just hear the violin.
She was with me, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a bit sad. It was a bit sad, unfortunately.
Steph was with Craig, so she wasn't gonna be very.
What can I say?
Yeah. Now, also, we then go to AJ Francis, of course, your best friend, AJ Tracy, and Rich Swann reveal that they were scouting in the VIP area last week and have their eyes set on specific titles. They tease that the details will be revealed next week.
You are back from diving.
Yeah, exactly. So we then get to the main event, of course, the Ball of Steel versus Trent the Seventh. This match was a blinder as expected, with some great offense, lots of near falls. But as the match progressed, Mustafa Ali and his security come to ringside to obviously at that moment to cheer everybody on, which I thought was really cool. Ali's presence at ringside adds a little bit of tension to the match as Bayley and Trent pull out some of the tops. Pull out all the stops to secure the victory. The match reaches its climax with a series of near falls and hard-hitting moves, ultimately leading to Trent hitting the Birmingham Hammer on Bayley for the win. What's that? After Champagne Singh shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, Champagne Singh came.
Right.
Push Bayley off the turnbuckle.
That's right, and not Bayley off the top rope, costing him the victory. Trent advances to face Mustafa Ali for the X Division Championship at Against All Odds. Of course, Impact then goes off air. Now, I love this match! Joe loved this match. I love this match. Craig, did you love this match?
I tell you what, I did love this match, and I will tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have Mustafa Ali, you're going to have Trent Seven, and then Shearer's going to come out and just completely wreck the match because we need Shearer. That's what TNA needs.
Okay, we need the Indian Lion. Okay, now Dark also owes me money, and now I thought this was a great match. I absolutely loved it. I didn't understand the champagne Singh bit.
But that is all mind games from Mustafa Ali, basically. I think.
Yeah, he was in a suit, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's all that's all mind games from Mustafa Ali.
He's obviously joined the campaign.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting as well. But the match itself was absolutely incredible. And again, for what, like the 10th or 20th fucking Impact in a row, we've had an amazing main event. Top quality stuff.
Good 20-minute match too, roughly.
Really good. Really good. If you're a wrestling fan, you don't give a shit about the storylines or anything like that. You just want to watch the matches, then watch this match. It was incredible. Really, really good match. And of course, like we said, this sets up Trent to face Mustafa Ali against all odds. I'm assuming that he's going to lose there, I would imagine. Good night, Melonhead. And we're then hopefully going to set up a Mike Bailey, or as we were talking about earlier, I think it's Summerversary we get the Ultimate X match.
Yeah.
If that's true, then we could see Mike Bailey in that. We could see Trent Seven in that. And and obviously Mustafa Ali. And what would be interesting is, and it would be a way of bringing in two potential guys from NXT,
2 or 3,
to get involved in this, and also because they don't have to be pinned, they can still lose without being pinned. And then I think the winner of that match will probably more than likely be Mike Bailey in front of his hometown crowd. The place will erupt. The place will erupt if that happens. But that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on how that's going to actually go down. But good night, Courtney. Thanks for joining us today.
Courtney.
Look at that. I mean, could we get Wesley? Could we get Wesley in that? That would be interesting.
He was the first thing that came to mind when we talked about this before we came on. Was Wesley was one I'd love to see back in Wild, who was DJZ in there as well, and Angel Garza. Those are his Hector Garza Jr. was amazing too. It's a shame he didn't stay with TNA or GFW and as it was at the time.
I think there is a plenty of potential guys that could come over for a potential Ultimate X match there. I think that would be incredible. And I think it's like I say, it was an easy way to send over NXT talent to TNA pay-per-view and not have them get pinned or lose, because it's a multi-man match. None of them needs to get pinned. They just don't get the title, I think that would be an amazing opportunity. There's so many really good guys that could get involved in that. Like I say, Wentz, Reed, Miguel, and Lee all together. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be amazing. Okay, guys, listen, please take the time to share and like today's show. Help us to promote TNI and, of course, TNA to the masses. It really does help us if you guys share, let them know that we're on, and let us know what we're doing. It'd be fantastic. Please help us out with that. Let's talk about quickly. Let's have a quick rundown of what we got going on this Thursday. So we've got a very match-heavy show this week. So last week I thought was stacked. It was very story driven, whereas this week I think is going to be let's get a load of good matches in. So we've got Joe Hendry versus Eddie Edwards. That's going to be a cracker. We've got Steve Maclin versus obviously a rematch versus Mike Santana from
that's going to be a banger
from Hard to Kill. We've got Mustafa Ali taking on Leon Slater. So we've got
going to be
kind of the old guard versus the new guard, if you want to look at it that way.
As Leon Slater has put it, the present versus the future. That is amazing. I was like, this guy is really, really pushing this match already.
Totally. I bet it's going to be amazing. I bet it was amazing. So I'm looking forward to that one. Sami Callahan versus Gresham. Jonathan Gresham, Inc. Are we going to see Sammy turned into an octopusy?
Oh no, Sammy said, "Look, comment about
The
guys in
death
masks.
pussy.
We know what he does to guys with masks."
Well,
Sammy
we do, but maybe on this occasion, he's going to be brought into the octopussies.
Oh,
Sammy Callahan, the pussy machine.
There you go. That's it. The pussy machine. Sammy Callahan. I love it.
Pussy versus everything.
PVE, pussy versus everything. Yeah. Ace versus Bey. We're obviously going to get that one. The ABC clash. And then the only knockouts match that we've got on the card is obviously Steph De Lander versus Xia Brookside. Could be an interesting one.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be good. And you're right. I think you're right.
It's going to be easy on the eye.
Yeah, that one will be. But I think Callahan versus Gresham is going to be very, very interesting, according to Scrapman. So, I think we've got some good stuff. We look forward to there. But, guys, look, I think that's all we've got time for this week. Also, if you want to show your support for TNI UK team, please feel free to drop us a super sticker or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links are, of course, below as always. All TNI shows are available to all you listen on the go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are, of course, there. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
My favorite bit this.
You can follow me on Twitter at JOK empty space. You can jump onto YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Look for hashtag empty space, hashtag into the void. Or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humor, hashtag daily giggle. But approach with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
Okay. Sanity. And what about yourself, Craig? Where can we find you? Because I know, obviously, you're now available on the X, aren't you, mate? Boom.
I am. I'm available on the X, but I haven't logged into it since last week, I don't think. So it is. Where is it? It's about there. There we go. It's Network Stooge on X. I will follow you back if you've followed me, and we share the same interests in that. I'm LimpstarUK on Facebook. I'm LimpstarUK on Instagram. I'm LimpstarUK on TikTok. And yeah, that's pretty much. I'm everywhere pretty much, but it's just I've had a week from hell, so I'm trying to catch up with myself at the minute.
Okay, buddy. Now, do you know what? I'm going to a little story I'm going to share with everybody. So last week when Craig finally managed to log into his right, we discovered that I blocked him. I blocked the Network Stooge. And so he said something which I thought, what a prick, and blocked him on Twitter.
It happens.
It happens. And then I met the dude, and not knowing that he was obviously this guy, and we got on famously. So
yeah, man.
I think that there you go, and it just goes to show, right?
Wonderful.
You can't judge a book by its Twitter handle. All right, it's as simple as
yeah.
I like that. I think to be fair, it may have just been I was knocking around with a different crowd back then. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm TNI. I'm part of TNI. I'm really happy to be here. You know, I've followed the American guys. I've watched your guys' shows and that before I joined the team. I'm happy to be here, and I'm really grateful too. So I'm going to try to change Network Stooge. Yeah, do you know what? That might have been what it was. Might have been what it was, but who knows?
When I was blocking all them idiots. Yeah, that might have been what it was. You were one of them at the time. There you go. Okay, you don't forget to follow TNI on socials at We Talk Impact on everything. X, Instanet, Facebook, wherever you find us, we are there. And of course, if you want to follow the Bison at Lord Bison 45 on X. And of course, if you want to follow my journey on TikTok at Bison by Design, you can go and check me out on there. My followers are getting bigger and bigger every day, actually, on TikTok. So go and head over, check out my stuff on there. I do promote TNI on there as well, but primarily it's about my fitness journey and all that kind of, and sort of basically motivational stuff and inspirational things and all that.
Take care.
Yeah, go and check it out at Bison by Design on TikTok, and you can find me, like I said, on the X at Lord Bison 45. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, and of course, a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK US team's great TNA related content coming out each and every week. With all that said, I of course have been your host Bison, and they have been the Joker and the Limpster, and this has been episode 183 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.